Cubs Cast Corral. Yeah!
Welcome to the Cubs Cast Corral. My name is Danny Rocket, bringing you through some of the best Cubs podcasts in the Cubs podcastiverse. Let's start with the bricks behind the ivy. Jeff had on Greg Huss, the minor league expert from Cubs on Deck, where they went through which players to watch at every level of the minor league system. Greg said his interest in the minors came from wanting to know what it takes to develop a player to the big leagues and the non-linear path in development. Both Jeff and Greg do wish the Cubs would be more deliberate in how they develop pitchers and to stop waffling with stretching them out as a starter and then using them as relievers or vice versa. Ben Brown was used as an example and the possible addition to the pen later in the year of Cade Horton. On Cubs PS Plus, it's a must listen as Sarah Sanchez and Mike Waller redid Jed's offseason. They wonder why Jed prioritized utility players over pitching and why he went for more depth on the mid to low side of the market. I think we all know why he did that on the low side of the market. Sarah wondered if the Cubs' reluctance to play in the deferred money game will affect which free agents they can sign. And I'll let you listen to all the specifics of their roster moves, which they'll hold themselves accountable to at the end of the season. But they agreed that Jed Hoyer's Cubs have had combinations of players the last few years that don't particularly make sense together. On Wrigleyville Nation, it was Sarah Sanchez again, this time with Pat and Jeremy. She said that the starting rotation is going to be pasted together with bubblegum and paper clips until they replace Steele, and they should just try and get Sandy Alcantara early, as in now. But they said if anyone could put together a starting rotation with guys you've never heard of, it's Craig Counsell. They also talked about how the Cubs wait too long to extend guys, and the PCA offer should have happened last year, and now he's going to be worth double if he can learn how to hit. Sarah brought up that it would, however, be the perfect time to extend Justin Steele on a scratched and dented discount. Then they profiled the sordid and wild life of Joe Pepitone, part of a series of Cubs biographies they're doing. I want to shout out real quick Cubs Pod's Eli Cotton, son of Michael Cotton, who got himself into the Cubs pod rotation, did a great job recapping Monday's loss to the Padres. So awesome job, Eli. If you're not a Patreon supporter, become one, and you can listen to Cubs pod every day. On Locked On Cubs, it was a solo show for Sam as he talked about how it was Matt Shaw's job to lose, and he lost it because he had a terrible hard hit rate, and now we're stuck with a workman birdie platoon. And I guess throw Justin Turner into that mix. He also brought up something to keep an eye on, and that's the fact that Kyle Tucker doesn't want to get hurt before he gets paid. So don't look for him to go crashing into walls. He also brought up having Luke Little, in addition to Thielbar as two lefties in the pen, allows the Cubs to be aggressive early against the pocket of lefties. Kind of a cool thing. On the Bleacher Nation podcast, Brett and Michael, I'm a week late on them. This happened last week, but they discussed how analytically driven fans are far too quick to dismiss other fans' emotions and that some stats aren't as meaningful as the nerds think they are. It was refreshing to hear from those guys. They also wondered if our offense can continue to bail out our bullpen and went into all of the factors about platooning a player. I'm looking at you, Justin Turner / Michael Bush. And they said that Kyle Tucker's current numbers have him projected to have one of the greatest Cubs seasons of all time. So that'd be awesome. On Northside Territory, Sahadov and Patrick Mooney agreed it's going to be nearly impossible to replace Justin Steele. And if you want to trade for somebody, it's going to cost you a ton. But if the Cubs are going to be aggressive on the trade deadline, they should maybe try to get in there sooner. This was also echoed on the Recap podcast, where Gordo said they need to figure out a way to either backfill the starting rotation with Steele out or be in the market for a top arm even before the trade deadline. And he compared the Cubs' reluctance to making a big pitching move in the offseason to the way that the Chicago White Sox operate. Gordo, a cap did not like that. Finally, on the Setup Man podcast, I've got to first say that you can listen to that show. Alex and Kyle do a great job on a post game after Wednesday's loss. I did enjoy that, but I got to bring up that Kyle's wife Gracie made a Cubs themed nursery for their soon-to-be son, and it's absolutely incredible. Go check that out on Kyle's on the Setup Man's social media. But after the loss of the Padres, they wondered about Craig's getaway day lineups and the bullpen usage with a day off coming. I mean, even though they probably would have lost anyway, it said that even though San Diego wasn't at full strength, they were encouraged by the 3-3 West Coast road trip because there's a good possibility that the Dodgers, Padres, and Cubs are all postseason teams, and they're hanging with the big dogs. So there, my friends, is your Cubs Cast Corral.